Hey TVC kids, we're on day 3 of the treasure tree. All right, are you remembering what happened? We have the 4 characters. They're all going on adventures together. They're working together to go on 4 adventures after 4 keys. And when they get the 4 keys, they'll be able to get to the treasure. So this chapter is about Giggles. It's called Giggles and the Crystal Cove Clam. Say that 3 times fast. Now the 4 best friends were eager to find the second key, so off they went to Crystal Cove, the next stop on the map. Are we really going all the way to the ocean, honey? Asked excitedly. I've never been to the beach. I haven't either, said Giggles. I can't wait to build sandcastles and play with beach balls. And go for a walk with a crab, and then shake hands and hands and hands and hands and hands with an octopus, and jump in the water and... Wait a minute, said Chewy. Remember, we're looking for the treasure key, not a playground. The map says key number 2 is by the sea, hidden away where none can see. That's right, said Lance. Look, there's the ocean. The 4 best friends stopped as they came out of the forest. Down below them, they could see the beautiful blue waters of Crystal Cove. And to the right, a steep trail led down to the beach. Oh, I love the beach. You're gonna find them a little like Giggles. I love the beach, and I would be thinking of all those beautiful things that we could do on the beach. And there they are, looking from the forest. They see it, and they know they're going on their next adventure. Let's go, shouted Lance, and he started down the trail with the other animals right behind him. Giggles was last in line going down the steep trail. She was looking at the beautiful water far away, not watching where she was going, and that's when she tripped right over a big seashell. Have you ever done that? I trip all the time because she had her distraction, right? What happened next was like pushing over a row of dominoes. Uh-oh. Giggles fell into Chewy the beaver, who fell into Honey the golden retriever, who fell into Lance the lion. There they go. Have you guys ever lined up dominoes and knocked them all down? It's super fun. Might be something to do tonight. Whoa, they all cried. But no one could stop. Spinning faster and faster and faster, they rolled together down the hill like big, colorful balls. Then, plop, they landed on their heads in the sand. That was great, shouted Giggles, getting up with a smile and brushing the sand from her clothes. Let's do it again. Well, I guess that tumble did get us to the beach quicker, said Chewy. Now we're even ahead of schedule. Chewy's always got a schedule going on. Is anybody hurt, asked Honey. Of course she did. I'll tell you who's going to be hurting if I catch her, said Lance with a smile, chasing after Giggle in a playful game of tag. Then Honey reminded them they needed to look for the key, hidden away where no one could see. There they are, looking for the key. Good thing they have each other to remind themselves what they're supposed to be doing, right? Giggle, she'd be off playing and going crazy. Honey just making sure everybody's okay. Chewy keeping on schedule, and Lance just pushing forward. This wasn't going to be easy. After all, what you can't see can be very difficult to find. So the 4 animals began searching the beach at Crystal Cove for the second treasure key. Lance began jogging up and down the beach to see if he could spot a clue, and to get some exercise at the same time. Honey and Giggles went right down to the water's edge. Giggles played tag with a sand crab, and Honey visited a family of seagulls. Then suddenly they heard a horrible scream from down the beach. It was Chewy! All right, so here's Lance just getting some exercise. Honey and Giggles just having some fun with some other animal friends. The beaver had discovered a mystery. Or actually, the mystery had discovered him. As he was trying to measure just how long the beach was in beaver feet, splash! He was hit in the face with a big squirt of water. What was that? He said to himself, looking around for someone who had squirted him. but the only thing nearby was a very large rock. Rocks can't squirt water, he thought, looking at it closely. Chewy was right. Rocks can't squirt water, but a clam can, especially the biggest, most gigantic clam in all of Crystal Cove. Not only can a clam squirt water, but it sometimes can do other, even more troublesome things. So here's Chewy. He's right down in that clam's face. It just looked like a rock, but then it squirted water at him. You guys know what a clam is? All right, we're gonna see. Chewy heard a loud creak, like an old door with rusty hinges opening, then snap! The giant clam had opened its mouth and snapped it shut right on Chewy's tail. Oh my goodness. Yow! Came the beaver's loud scream. Let go! Get me out of here! Shouted the beaver. When the three friends got to Chewy, they found not one, but two big problems. Their best friend had his tail caught by a giant clam. That's a big problem. And the tide was beginning to come in. Wave by wave, the ocean was getting closer. Have you ever seen that? When the waves started here, and then as it gets evening, it comes in further and further and further to Chewy and the clam. "Oh, get him out," cried Lance, and with all his strength, he pushed and pulled, but nothing happened. So there he is, stuck with his tail in a clamshell. And there's Lance. First thing he thinks to do is, I'll just pull him right out. I'll use my strength. Honey tried to encourage Chewy. She held the beaver's hand and said, "Don't worry, it'll all be better soon. You're being so brave." This helped the beaver not to be so scared, but it didn't open the clam's jaws. "The water's coming closer," shouted the very tired Lance. "We've got to think of another way to get the clam's jaw open." "I know how to get the clam to open his mouth," the hopeful otter said. "How?" the other said. "I'll tell him some jokes. And when he's laughing, then Chewy's tail will be free." "Jokes? At a time like this," said Chewy. "Trust me," said Giggles. "I know lots of jokes, but I'll use only my very best jokes on the clam." So here's Honey. Look at, she's making sure he's gonna be fine. And Lance the lion is just wore out. He's used all his strength. And there's Giggles. "I'll just tell him jokes. And then when he laughs, it'll all be fine." Let's see what happens. Poor Chewy. The otter's friends rolled their eyes and shook their heads. "Oh, Giggles." But Giggles started telling her best jokes. Just be thankful you aren't reading a story where she shares her worst jokes. "All right, Clam, what side of a rabbit has the most fur? The right side? The left side?" "No, it's the outside." Oh, yeah. She said, bursting into laughter. But not even a chuckle came from the clam. Try that joke on your mom and dad, see what they think. Okay, how about this one? What is the most musical fish? A tuna fish. Get it? She started doubling over with laughter. "It's not working," cried Chewy as he watched the water coming closer and closer. "Not to worry," said Giggles. "This next one will work. It always works. What happens when ducks fly upside down?" "They quack up." So here's all his jokes. They're kind of funny, but it didn't make the clam laugh. I kind of like the tuna fish. At last, from deep down inside the clam shell came a rumble, then a chuckle. Shook the clam, but it did not open its mouth, so he had a little bit of a laugh. Giggle, she wasn't discouraged, but only for a moment, when suddenly she shouted, "I've got it now!" "I know, but we'll make that old clam open up." And off she ran down the beach. Quick as a flash, Giggles was back with a feather from one of the seagulls that she'd met. Good to make friends, isn't it? Honey, the loyal golden retriever, was still by Chewy's side, but the water was getting higher, and Lance was still trying to force that clam to open its mouth. "Stand aside," said Giggles, holding a feather. "This will do the trick." All right, look how close the water is getting to them. Whew. The time is now for this to work. Let's see. And through the little crack that was made as the clam held the beaver's tail, the otter stuck the feather in and began to wiggle it around. Now, any kind of tickle can make you laugh. In fact, you might want to try a tickle right now. But a feather tickle is the most ticklish of all. And sure enough, the clam began to chuckle and then to laugh, and finally the clam's mouth flew open and Chewy the beaver was free. "Hooray!" they all cheered. "Look," shouted Honey, "it's the key." "What?" There in the clam's mouth, hidden away where none can see, they found the golden key. So look at that. 1 minute he's stuck, Giggles uses the feather tickle, and there's the key stuck inside that clam. How would they ever have found it? Now the 4 best friends were halfway to the treasure tree, because 2 + 2 is 4, right? The first key was found by the lion's quick thinking and determined personality. The second key was won by the otter's joyful and hopeful ways. That left only 2 more keys, and key number 3 would be perhaps the hardest of all to find. All right, I will see you tomorrow. I love you all. Be happy, be joyful like otters. Bye.